Let's talk about Matterport stock. This stock has dropped like a rock in recent months, and in this video I will look at where the value is right now. First of all, I am bullish on Matterport in the long run, but despite dropping so much, I feel that there could be a few things that need to happen before I buy in. In this video I will discuss the impact of recent news, I will analyse the real possibilities that exist for this company and assess the opportunity. But I will also look at reasons for the price drop and what I believe will happen and what will trigger this stock's recovery. And I will tell you the price that I am looking to buy into Matterport and when I expect to see this price. This is very important, so make sure you watch the whole video. If you enjoy my content and don't want to miss out, subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted whenever I make a new video. And show your support for my work, check out my new Patreon page where you can support my work and get access to when I find these new opportunities. If the Patreon group is not for you, that's fine too, of course. But if you find any value in this video, can you kindly tap the like button and leave a comment? This costs you absolutely nothing, but it really helps the channel out. I'm aiming to get 300 likes on this video. Help me make that happen. Let me know if you have invested in Matterport stock, at what price you bought in and what price target you have. Now let's get into the video. Matterport is a market-leading 3D platform that lets anyone turn a physical space into an immersive digital twin. Matterport takes real-life physical space and transforms it into a digital twin, which is a 3D model using a combination of different types of cameras, software and applications. This technology has many uses in homes, offices, factories, shops, even museums. If you have ever seen a 3D virtual property tour or a virtual museum tour, then you're already familiar with Matterport's technology. This digital 3D model can be used in many ways, such as presenting a realistic look at a home that a real estate agent can use for virtual tours that reach far more potential buyers than a traditional open house. The applications for Matterport's technology are endless, ranging from retail, construction, engineering and more. With more of the physical world becoming virtual, the total addressable market for Matterport's technology is massive. It's essentially every building in every country in the world. Scans can be captured from any compatible camera, and while Matterport had focused largely on selling their own range of cameras, the advancement in technology now means that most phones are capable of this. Thousands of companies in over 190 countries use Matterport. Millions of spaces have been captured, comprising billions of square feet, resulting in the largest spatial data library in the world, which gets bigger every day. Matterport has been digitalizing the world for a decade now, with the mission of making every building and every space more valuable and accessible. Looking at the investor's presentation, we can see that Matterport has a top-class management team with highly experienced executives coming from major global companies such as Google, Seagate and eBay. Matterport has a $240 billion global total addressable market opportunity as properties move online, and this is calculated at a cost of $1 per month, assuming a market penetration of only 1%, with significant upside monetizing digital property insights and services as high as $1.2 trillion, assuming a $5 per space. Over the past year, Matterport has achieved 116% growth in subscribers, although a large proportion of these are still freemium. Paid subscribers has grown at a rate of 33%. But despite having such a low market penetration rate, the company claims to have 6.2 million spaces under management, which is digitized building scans, and they estimate it has 100 times the amount of spaces on its platform as the entire rest of the market combined. Matterport has a range of high-resolution camera options to suit all environments, as well as a free, no-cost approach of using a decent smartphone. Matterport Capture is now compatible with about 74% of all devices. The company's plan of offering free subscriptions is being used as a way of capturing potential subscribers with a view to converting these into paid subscriptions over time, which tends to be a very good business model in order to obtain a high level of customers quickly, and hopefully a percentage of these will become dependent on the service and convert into paid subscriptions. One of the major advantages that Matterport has is its first mover advantage in a potentially massive and largely untapped digital reconstruction market, which is indicated clearly by the fact that they have 100 times more digital space than the rest of the market combined. Matterport breaks down its revenues into 4 categories. Subscription, which is about 50% of sales, and management expects more than 80% of revenue to be subscription based by 2025. Products account for 39%, due to its pro camera, but I expect this to decrease rapidly as smartphones get even better, with services and license solutions making up the remaining revenue. Matterport has an incredibly scalable business model. Operating a freemium model, customers are drawn in with free subscriptions, then gradually transition into paid subscribers as they recognize the value and cost-saving potential of Matterport's 3D data. And this is where the company can make most profit. Subscription business operated at about 77% gross margin during the last quarter, indicating the potential for substantial profitability growth as the company continues to scale its subscriber base and transition away from product-based sales such as cameras, which have very little margin. The subscription-based model provides a recurring revenue stream, which is great to see and offers increased visibility into future revenue streams. Matterport has seen a 29x increase in subscribers since 2018. Cushman & Wakefield, one of the world's largest commercial real estate companies, increased their spend by 26-fold, while Ericsson increased their spend by 60% in just 1 year. In fact, Matterport's customers include 13% of the Fortune 1000, so the potential is there to turn these customers into paid subscribers and a recurring revenue source. Although all of this sounds great, Matterport's current financials are not so great, so stick around and I will look at these later in the video. Now, the real buzz around Matterport in the past few months, and a reason why this company divides opinions so much, is the company's potential for a major role in the Metaverse. Of course, anyone who thinks the Metaverse is a load of BS will not see the potential here, and even large amounts of those who think the Metaverse will be big still don't see the potential. Take a moment, search Google Images for the Metaverse. What do you find? Lots of images of a world that looks very computeristic. The image that most people have of the Metaverse is like that of a PS2 game from 20 years ago. Do you really think that this is what Mark Zuckerberg has in mind when he rebranded Facebook as Meta? Even computer games don't look like this anymore. Gaming has evolved so much that many games now look very real at first glance. This is where Matterport comes in. Why would you want a Metaverse that looks like this when you can have a Metaverse that looks more like this? The real vision for the Metaverse is of a world that is almost real, almost like a Matrix type of world. For example, this article on nasdaq.com discusses this brilliantly. Check out the link in the description below. Is Australia a place you've always wanted to visit? In the Metaverse, you could explore the Australian outback more easily than you can get into an Outback Steakhouse in your hometown. You could see the Sydney Opera House, the street art on Hosier's Lane in Melbourne, then stroll the Swan River in Perth, all with zero travel time. Several sites like these are already captured as Matterport digital twins. From there, the Web3 Metaverse incentivizes Matterport service partners to map out all of these major cities and destinations. This is what the Metaverse will be like, and realistic spaces were exactly the vision Mark Zuckerberg presented at his big Metaverse event back in October. Guys, if you enjoyed this type of analysis and detailed look into the stocks that I cover on this channel, please smash the like button. It costs you absolutely nothing and it helps with the algorithm and helps my channel get noticed. And if you want to support my work, check out my new Patreon page where you can get access to when I find these new opportunities. Looking at MarketBeat, we can see that Matterport is currently at the bottom of its 50-day range and 52-week range. This shows that Matterport has dropped over 75% of value recently and might now be undervalued at just over $2 billion. With institutional ownership currently over 26%, the most heavily invested institutions are Morgan Stanley, Senator Investments and BlackRock. Looking at the most recent data available of Fintel, the short interest days to cover is 1.14, while the short float is now 10.54%. The analyst price target consensus is $26.80. The most recent rating and price targets was set this month by Credit Suisse analyst John Walsh, who set a buy rating but lowered his price target to $31, which is more than 300% upside from the current price. Looking at tip ranks, we can see that John Walsh is a 5-star analyst with a 66% success rate, while the other recent price target of $38 was set by Wedbush analyst Daniel Eves, who is also a 5-star analyst according to tip ranks with a 65% success rate. Taking a look now at the most recent financial statements that were published in October, we can see that Matterport has total assets of 653 million and total liabilities of 447 million. This gives Matterport an asset to liability ratio of about 1.5 to 1. The assets is mainly highly liquid assets, and a high portion of liabilities is this earnout liability. This is subject to remeasurement, but without this, the asset to liability ratio would be 6 to 1, which would be fantastic. Looking at the income statement, we can see that Matterport has revenue of over 84 million for the year so far, showing solid revenue growth and a really good gross profit. However, sizable operating losses mean a loss from operations and a very large net loss of $177 million so far this year. But this is very misleading. Nearly 75% of this loss is due to the change in fair value of warrants and earnout liability. So what is this exactly? Well, I said a moment ago that the earnout liability is remeasurable. If the share price rises, then this liability gets bigger and its impact gets bigger. If the share price falls, this liability gets smaller. Looking at the notes to the accounts, the earnout shares can be activated in tranches of 3.9 million shares, being activated from $13 up to $25. Now, these accounts were for the period up to the 30th of September. At the time, the share price was somewhere between $18 and $19. Now, this is extremely important. Matterport earnings are expected on the 2nd of February. This will be for the period up to the 30th of December. The share price at this time was over $20. This liability should be even more in these earnings, and I expect the share price to fall steeply. However, given the current share price is so low that none of these earnout shares would ever be activated, remember $13 is the lowest activation point, I fully expect the following earnings report in May to show a huge shift in the profit and loss for Matterport due to this remeasurement change in fair value. And with increased revenue and margins, I expect this to be the time when Matterport bounces back strong. And the Q1 earnings report will also include a balance sheet greatly boosted by the recent redemption of all the company's warrants at $11.50, giving proceeds of over $104 million, meaning that no public warrants remain outstanding. Before I give you my prediction, if you appreciate this type of content, please smash the like button and help me grow this channel. Drop a comment and let me know what you think of Matterport, have you invested and at what price? And check out my Patreon page where I am bringing you the latest stock ideas that I believe will make big gains this year. At the current price, I think that this is an okay entry point into Matterport stock. In the long run, I am bullish and I do believe that Matterport will be huge, but a few things need to happen first. If the Metaverse takes off, then the possibilities are endless. If not, however, there is still a huge business opportunity digitizing the real world. Although Matterport has dropped close to 80% of its value, I feel that it could drop more over the next couple of weeks. And I think that somewhere between $6 to $7 will be a very good entry point. I do feel that this stock will begin to turn upwards during the first half of the year before the release of the Q1 2022 report, so keep an eye on that. This is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor, and my videos should be viewed for entertainment purposes. I highly recommend investing only money that you can afford to, and always do your own due diligence when investing. If you're new, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one.